All right, Jules, let's get into this a little bit more. And I want to start with United and something we touched upon before. Yeah. Erik Ten Hag's been brought in, presumably, to play the football he played at Ajax, right? Which is heavy on possession, heavy on the pressing, and so on. They might have tried to do that in the first 2 games.
They did, yeah.
Lost. Last 3 games, the ones they've actually won, it's been completely different type of football.
Yeah.
It has, and I know I'm not saying this as in like, oh, they've been negative. Although, late in the game, we saw Harry Maguire make an appearance and whatnot. Yeah. It's more the idea that I think he's looked at this and says, like, I need points. I want to play to these strengths right now. So I know that I can go with the deep vertical ball because Eriksen and Bruno can both pass a little bit. I know I've got these fast forwards who can get behind the opposing defenses. That's fine for a while. But is there an alternate scenario where the Martinelli goal stands and then what happens?
Yeah, because they took the lead against Liverpool. They took the lead, obviously, at Leicester, which was it was a very average performance from United, but they took the lead with verticality again. And then defended really well. And Southampton, they took the lead as well, and then kept that lead. And there was not much more after taking the lead anyway. So
this is not how he wants to play.
No. But maybe he was a bit naive then at the start of the season for thinking, okay, Brighton at home, let's build up from the back. Let's not play long. Let's try all that movement, all the things that we worked on in preseason that we saw in friendlies worked really well at times and looked quite promising at times. And he thought, okay, let's do the same. And against Brentford, and then they were caught. Even someone like Eriksen was not comfortable doing it at Brentford and, was terrible in that first half. And then he thought, okay, this is too early then maybe to do that style. We can work on it, although with games every 3 days and then the World Cup, I don't know where he's going to work on it, but it doesn't matter. Let's go different. Let's go more direct, like we saw against Liverpool, like we saw in a way against Arsenal, 40% of the ball at Old Trafford. And yet those counterattacks were really good. But this is where I think he deserves a lot of credit for maybe others would have, maybe dogmatic coach, like he is really, let's be honest here, would have gone like, no, this is my way and we're going to keep at it and we might lose another game or 2, but we're going to improve. Or more pragmatism, which I didn't think that was him really, of like, okay, let's change it to get some points now and then see where we are.
He has surprised us. And maybe we underestimated that side of it. Again, I think this is all just temporary stuff. I don't think you can play this way. I don't think you can get results consistently this way. Certainly not with this group of players. But it's worked in these ones. He did what he had to do. I think it was he made the right calls on the matchups. I think we have to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
And one other aspect too, which I think goes unremarked a little bit, is Diogo Dalot, obviously came over with Jose Mourinho, kind of a peripheral figure, went on loan. Nobody's like, whoa, it's Diogo Dalot, right? You can't even get in the head of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But now in the system, he fits. He's a player. McTominay, I know there's a portion of United fans who will always love McTominay because he's homegrown, blah blah blah, British steel, yada yada yada. And there's others who just see a guy who, runs around kicking people
like
and
me.
Like you. There you go. But he's playing. Casemiro not starting 3 straight games.
Yeah,
Casemiro out of the lineup.
Yeah.
And Rashford, another one, right? Last season, Rashford on the bench, lost his way. Hasn't really performed in a couple years. In a contract year. I'm not saying Rashford was perfect in this game, but he made the right runs at the right time. Maybe a bit lucky with one of the finishes that was deflected. But, obviously had the pass for Anthony's goal. Yeah. This is a big performance from Rashford.
It is.
Do we give credit for Ten Hag there a little bit on the psychology of getting these guys going again?
Yeah, must have. Although, I think if Martial had been fit, which he wasn't, so this is not really a debate. But I think
Martial, yeah.
No, but Martial would have started up front and Rashford wide on the right, probably, and Sancho on the left, which I still don't know what.
And the €100 million man out?
No, that was before Anthony. Start the season. The season. And I don't know what would have happened, and I don't even know what's Marcus' best position if he prefers playing centrally on his own like this or wide. I don't know, but I liked him a lot in that game because if you can play on the counter like that, he's so good. And yeah, he needs to improve in the link-up play and be more available to receive the ball and have the big centre backs behind him and hold it up. But I think he can do it. I just don't know if Ten Hag at the start of the season thought, okay, Rashford will be my go-out guy to play in that position and will be so successful. But now they're playing well. It would be a different, like you said, the next game would be very different unless, again, they score early and have that lead and then can play on the counter, which is not going to happen every week.
Well, and I think you have another issue too, obviously, in terms of, for lack of a better word, passing midfielders. You've got Eriksen, you've got Bruno Fernandes, and then I believe that's it. I mean, you don't put Fred in the same class as those two. So you will necessarily have to come up with...
Eriksen started every game, plays every game. I think at his age, there might be a point where he needs a bit of a rest too.
You would think so. He's really run himself into the ground.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.